Do. Are we not humming along?
I'm confused.
Why? What are you confused about?
Why?
I don't know. Listen, okay, a little behind the scenes here for you. You can't just like turn on microphone amiability, okay? Sometimes you have to kind of get into it for a moment. And sometimes that means I need to hum the athletic theme from Super Mario Bros. 3D World, okay?
Okay.
That's how it works for me. And if you've got a problem with that, then you are welcome to go to literally any other channel that has more professionalism than we do.
I'm just confused that it seems that some sort of reaction or participation was expected from me, but never conveyed to me in any way.
What? Like we don't often just sing parts and trade off at one another.
Yes, generally when not on mic.
Oh, so that's the only difference? It's funny, I'll just stand here looking at her, implying it's her turn to say something, and she'll just kind of laugh, giggle nervously, and then stare at me like I'm some kind of alien.
You didn't ask me anything. It's
No, what were you gonna say?
No.
No? Okay.
Some other time.
Fine. Yo, bro, where you taking me today? Today it'll be a treasure island that no one knows about.
It's a place where the sun rarely ever showed itself.
Gotta have my coffee.
A world shrouded in silver with snow as far as the eye can see. There is a lone house standing there, though. Its windows are lit up, but if you go in to investigate, you'll find the house completely empty. However, you'd find some fresh warm bread and soup inside, like it was made just for you.
It's a small island to the north of Great Britain. It's called Svalbard. It's a quiet, serene little place.
The treasure island was Haruki's only source of support.
Oh wait, this isn't Sinister Tomo. This is Tomo trying to be a decent brother for a little bit anyway.
In a world of white ceilings and lung pain, the island his brother did his best to tell him about had become his personal sanctuary.
Man, what a shitty movie.
Can't wait for Haruki to try and get there and just wind up at Orkney.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't treasureful at all.
Ugh, what the hell is this? No, why would I need to go to Edinburgh? He pronounces it correctly for some reason.
He walked through the streets, passing walls covered in graffiti. The crude lights seemed like they would shine on the winter sky and reach the low clouds.
Ah, shit. Pick up, damn it.
Morichiga Haruki became more and more irritated while holding a phone that displayed the name Tojo on its screen. He'd called him numerous times since the dinner, but he just wasn't answering.
There's no chance I'd throw you away.
Haruki sulked and muttered that as he turned the key of his motorbike. The maid cafe had a large crowd of people in front of it, which seemed unusual. It was a popular place, but he didn't think it was the kind of store people would crowd around in such a disorderly fashion.
Is this some of the... Yeah, okay, this is the same stuff we've seen. Okay. There! A wild Tojo appeared. Oh, look, we don't have to reenact this whole scene. That's good. I'm gonna let my anger get the better of me in this moment and do something I deeply regret to someone I really care about. Great decisions were made that day. It's what I deserve.
He exhaled a breath far too short to be called a sigh. It resounded in the dark and cold hallway.
There we go, I did it.
Nice. Hey, Haruki, if you feel you did something bad, you should apologize immediately.
I already made this joke last time we did a scene like this. I'm not doing it again. If apologizing would completely fix the relationship. Man, but seriously? I can't even apologize to him now.
As Morishika Haruki stood there dumbfounded, a pair of refined leather boots stood on his shadow.
Oh, Haruki. Hello there, dear brother. You really are foolish beyond saving.
The voice, full of malice coated in refinement, was easily consumed by his body. This sweet poison seemed to destroy him from the inside like a Trojan horse. Morishika Haruki could do nothing but pathetically look up at his brother's face.
Come with me. Come with me, dear brother.
This was a hospital's hallway. His brother's voice was far too gentle. He knew he couldn't be saved, but it was still better than solitude, so... Haruki stood up and moved his empty husk of a body as Toma willed it. He wanted to shake everything off and run into the distance, but that choice never even materialized in his hazy mind.
I really should have killed you back then. But I suppose there's no need for that. Jesus Christ! What? Toma? Toma's really gone mask off this episode, huh? He was always quietly the one that seemed like the reasonable person. I had been giving him far too much credit.
Yep.
What if it turns out that the only one of them that is not from the Pink House crew that is not a complete fucking monster is somehow Samejima, the cop child murderer?
It doesn't count if you only do it in your head. Child murder is fine as long as no childs actually get murdered.
He was taken to a dense mountain. Between the trees, one could hear the voices of the crows echoing about.
What the hell's with this place?
Why did he bring Morishika Haruki there?
Quiet me.
This was the place where they devoured Mamiya's flesh in 1999.
Yeah, like that's the, and it's also the quote unquote gravesite Niigaki had returned to.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
It was an odd space, separate from the world below. His sixth sense told him it was dangerous to remain here for too long.
Thankfully, my other 5 tell me it's A-okay. You're not leaving. Huh? You really don't know this place, do you? This is where your corpse is buried. Wait, what? Wait, what? What the hell are you saying? I'm right here, alive, and if you think I'm lying, why don't you dig yourself up?
He spat the words out with a grin.
What the fuck? I'm regretting giving you Mom's phone number now. That is, if you don't mind guaranteeing your death. Wait, what? Quit messing around. Don't think your nonsense can control my survival just because I'm your brother. Oh, it's not because you're my brother. Don't think so highly of yourself.
Right, it's my line.
Yeah, you don't have to narrate if you don't want to. I can.
The distance between them closed. An unease came over him. His life was shrieking.
It is simply how it goes.
Following those words, Morishika Toma dug his fingers into his throat. He tried to free himself as hard as he could, but his weakened body wouldn't obey him.
It hurts. It hurts? Oh, that's not quite right, Haruki. You are the one who's hurting me, after all. What? If you're hurting, all you have to do is get away from me. From us.
With the same gentle face he had for years, he pushed Morishika Haruki's body away. Then he threw him to the ground and stomped on his shoulder.
Ugh. Oh dear. You are such an idiot. You just followed me here like it's nothing. and became food for karma. This is the perfect place for a loser like you. Bro, stop! Get off my shoulder! It's your own fault for not realizing that the corpse buried here is you.
Those words had no basis, they were pure fiction. Yet Morishika Haruki's heavy heart made him feel like he was gradually being dragged into the ground.
Toma, what the hell, man? Ugh. You see, even your body wants to return to the earth. No! It's because of you. It's because you almost killed me. You strangled me to death. What? Do you seriously think I'd become a criminal for someone like you? That's right here. It's physical assault. God damn it. So, what? You think you can report me to the police? That's right. You can't do that, can you?
Morishika Toma caressed the ground with his gloves.
Listen, you are dying of your own free will. I mean, are we meant to take this that Toma has always been casually abusing his brother? Stop! I'm not doing this. You're doing this to yourself. I'm not hurting you. I've done nothing wrong. You're the one who's making this happen, dear brother.
It certainly sucks.
Yeah. What do you think Toma thinks he means when he says Haruki's body is buried here?
I don't
He thinks it's the
know.
grave of Mamiya, right? Or that's what we're led to believe. What does Toma think what is his point here is?
I don't know.
Is it trying to be more of an oblique threat, like I am going to kill you, or you've been dead for a while, you're a corpse walking, something more like that? Huh. If you wanted to die so badly. No! Oh, Then hurry up and end your life, will you? You like being alone, right? The freedom of living in the moment.
Mr. Morishika,
That's the reason you destroyed everything, no?
for some reason, the thing that came to mind was a mental image of a snow globe falling and breaking.
I'm the one who destroyed the place where I belonged.
Above him, Morishika Toma was smiling coldly.
Or is it more about Toma blaming his brother for driving their family apart? That didn't seem like the status quo. It seemed like things were kind of on the rocks between the parents for a while, but they stayed together until Haruki had grown up, just to... If I remember that correctly, but... I destroyed everything.
The way he clung to the surface made Morishika Haruki look like he was begging for life.
You will now become Mamiya's corpse and go to sleep here. Jesus Christ, man. Good for you, Haruki. You'll finally be useful to someone.
The rain that began to fall enveloped all of Tokyo.
So it's the place where the corpse was eaten, but also... the years are now intertwined, so things are a little different, but... You will become Mamiya's corpse. Give your life so I can believe I have some proof that Mamiya existed. I gotta say, this game really rewards, like, kind of lateral vibe check thinking.
Mm-hmm.
And I am failing spectacularly at a lot of it. What are you doing?
When Igaki Mairi returned home, she found a drenched man sitting in front of her door.
Haruchika, if you have no place to stay, you could have just contacted me. Is Haruchika like a pet name?
The cheek she touched was as cold as a corpse's. It made her pull her hand back.
Mayuri,
Gazing up, Morishika Haruki had a kind seductiveness he never had before. It was the charm of someone who internalized death, attainable only by those who stand in the midst of despair and desolation.
Would you call that a charm?
The trembling of his eyes, bearing the sweet color of death, left Mayuri entranced.
Help.
The sound of rain echoed all around them. Morishika's lips as he breathed out were pale and dry.
Sorry about that. Well, look at you. You actually pushed the nurse call button for once.
She smiled like a young girl and caressed his wet hair.
It's all fine, Haruki.
What in the world is going on here?
You and me. Me.
You will now become Mamiya's corpse and go to sleep here. I don't understand what Morishika Toma meant by that. Morishika Haruki would become Mamiya and die? Mamiya's corpse shouldn't exist. Mamiya's flesh wasn't made in this world. Then why was Morishika Toma trying to link it to Morishika Haruki's death? The karma here is amiss somehow. This must be a side effect of mixing 1999 and 2012. I glared at the wet surface and sighed. The Schrodinger's grave was silent, not saying a word.
Yeah, what up?
Who rests in this grave? In that moment, a strange wind blew past. Hmm?
Who turned off the house music?
The brief grave rave.
Yeah.
There was the sound of something awakening far in the distance.
Cavolo riscaldato. That feels Italian and therefore feels like it might be related to music somehow.
I think it sounds like food to me. I'm gonna Google that one. Cavolo riscaldato.
If it sounds Italian, it's probably either food or music related, right? I'm gonna let the... I was gonna call it an off-brand Tevin Townsend riff, and then the vocals are very much... Huh.
It means literally reheated cabbage, but it's a figurative phrase, meaning something that's like old or outdated or obsolete, but someone's showing off like it's new, even though it's old and tacky.
So the implication is that it's old and tacky, not old and disused.
Think so.
Okay. Interesting.
Kind of like if someone gave you your dinner and it was reheated cabbage. You'd be like, bleh.
You'd be like, come on, man.
I'm sure the cabbage was good the first time around, but I kind of don't want it to be old and reheated and then served up.
That makes sense. Also, we got a flash of someone's face for a moment there, and I couldn't tell who it was that came with the metal riff. So interesting to see who has awakened.
The phrase also appears to be used to describe trying to make a doomed relationship work or get back together with an ex, things like that. the idea being that it's reheated cabbage is not as good as the first time, right? So other stuff that's not as good as the first time. You're trying
right.
Trying to have something as new again when it's old and fucked and it's not
exactly. Okay, that reading makes a little bit more sense.
Yeah.
Now I'm good. I don't remember what Saito's voice was. I think you showed up at one point during the first.
Yeah, how's the new ride?
Nice.
Oh, not bad at all.
Nice.
What?
New outfit.
What?
Wait, so visually, so he used to have a T-shirt.
Yep.
Right, that had some artwork on it.
And now he has a tactile neck.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is the same jacket, but now a tactile neck and whatever this gem is. No, did he still have the necklace? I think it's just no T-shirt, now tactile neck.
I thought his necklace was different before.
Maybe. Is that even a tactile neck? It looks like it goes down for a while. You wearing a tactile dress?
I mean, the coat also does go down quite a bit.
But like I'm trying to find out like where like He's got long arms. God damn. It gets the job done.
I already forgot what voice I gave Saito 20 seconds ago. Yeah, you haven't been here in a while, so I was gossiping that you may have croaked.
You try not to die either, Saito. Your wife and children already left you, so you could die of loneliness.
If I die, I'll die right here. It'd be nice if some handsome guy looked out for me.
That ain't happening.
Morichika treating someone. Maybe the rumors are true about the world ending.
I got a source of income. So how are things lately, huh? You got a source of income? Oh, are you... There's always been this uncomfortable undertone in Niigaki and the girls that live with her, right?
Mm-hmm.
If Haruki now has a source of income, is Mayuri pimping him?
Don't know.
Right? But like, man.
Well, we get more female customers, I guess, though people like you still make up the majority.
Huh. Maybe I should open a hole in my wallet then. It's been a while.
Sounds good to me. Want more of that?
You know it. Kanai. Yeah, I was talking about piercings and I remembered you. I see you're free tonight. I'll be waiting as long as I have to. That sound Frank? Shut up. I'm the same as ever. My name's Haruki, not Frank. Anyway, see ya.
Morichika, come on, let's go to the next place.
You got your damn clerk job tomorrow. Just go to home already, alright?
Woman's looking after you again. If you ever need money, I can get you a job again.
Thanks. I'll keep that in mind.
We're just right, aren't we? We don't have to expect anything from each other. It's just right.
The words held plenty of implications, but Haruki chose not to ask. The woman also didn't ask why he suddenly visited her. Because this was one of those relationships that was just right.
Welcome back, Haruki. Mayuri, I'm back. I'll go sleep then. Here's a gift I got. Eat it if you feel like it.
He tore open the wrapper and threw the half-eaten chocolate into his mouth. The brandy inside melted in his mouth, making his whole body doze off.
Now this is comfort. Yeah, nothing says comfort like living in someone else's home, drinking half-finished booze and half-eaten chocolate. Right? There's something apt about the metaphor of someone else's discarded leftovers of luxury.
After calming down, Morichika Haruki lay down on the large sofa and took a deep breath.
I should have done this forever ago. I shouldn't have sought to be by anyone's side.
No light reached the place where he slept. Oh no, oh no, oh no.
I love Mii's worried face, like the ah!
If this keeps on, he's gonna die. I gotta do something.
Wait, oh fuck, Nadoma, you're back. Stop panicking, you. I mean, something like that,
Yeah.
right? Stop worrying about it, you. Ugh, looks like you have no choice but to get through this with a MacGuffin.
Get through this with a MacGuffin. Hey, Haruki, where have you been all this time?
Huh? What? Who are you?
What do you mean, what? Did you forget about me? We need to talk, so come with me.
How about a hotel then?
Fine by me. A canopy bed, Asiatic decorative plants, a jacuzzi with rose petals in it. Morichika Haruki paid no attention to me and took a smoke.
So, what do you want to talk about? Or should we bathe first?
That Haruki's job now?
Yep, that's Haruki's. That's Haruki's job now. Like,
I can't really do it today.
I like Mi's expression. He's got some really funny expressions. And again, just to be clear, that the argument is not that there's anything wrong with prostitution as a way to get money. The problem is that it definitely feels like this wasn't by Haruki's choice and decision to do this with his own body. It definitely feels like this is not someone feeling empowered by it and someone turning to it out of desperation. Huh? It's that time of the month, huh? You should have said so earlier. It's alright, I got my Red Wings.
Sorry.
I don't care as long as you pay for the visit, jeez.
Morichika Haruki, sitting at the edge of the canopy bed, looked both bored and beautiful.
What does me look like to him right now?
Yeah, apparently not what me looks like to us. Which makes sense because...
Unless... Transmask me?
But it makes sense because me is no longer Natsume.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
We still see Natsume's sprite, but me isn't that person.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess me is just whoever me needs to be.
Did you already read this line? And I zoned out?
Yes.
Okay, awesome.
No, I couldn't let myself be swept away by the atmosphere created by the indirect lighting.
First me gets forced femme, second me gets C. Me, what are you trying to tell us about yourself? We're here to support you. We've already got one gender fluid person on the cast. You said we needed to talk, so go ahead and talk. I'll just sleep as I want. Oh, and you could go take a shower or something. You'll get cold if you sleep like that.
You're rather nice, I gotta say. High-necked clothes really don't suit you.
Huh. What, so you do actually want me to get naked?
That's not what I meant. Are you really okay with this? Going back to the unchanging days you used to have, I mean. Didn't you hope something could change? That you could change yourself?
Seriously, what is this? Do we really know each other?
If we didn't, I wouldn't have come with you to a place like this.
Huh.
I put some anger into my voice, but all he did was chuckle through his nose.
Yeah, that is how me gets angry. You could tell how angry I was.
Even if I couldn't take away his hurt, there had to be at least one thing. At least a little roadside branch that could show him the path.
Interesting. I haven't got the faintest fucking clue what the right call here is.
Interesting. So we're going to drop a save. So now from the last route, we know that the wrong route tends to lead to like a short finale. So we're going to try to get this wrong first try. Here's the thing. I don't think Haruki is the kind of person who needs someone to listen to his troubles right now. I think what he actually needs is someone to tell him that it's okay to do something else.
Okay. That's a plausible theory. Let's roll with it.
Yeah, so we're going to pick to listen to his troubles under the assumption that this will get us the bad end.
Yeah.
Hey, Haruki.
Huh? What? Never mind, we got a CG. This is the right thing to do.
I don't care if we never meet again. Treat me as disposable if you want. But could you please tell me about your worries and complaints?
You want to use a love hotel as a confession booth?
If this seems to be the right one, do we want to,
No, we'll just go back and I don't care enough to... We'll still get there in the end, don't worry about it.
The indirect lighting created vague shadows between us. The bed's canopy was hiding him as he lay down, only letting his voice through. As he said, it looked like a simplified confession booth. I'm sure not even God is listening.
Man, I have got some weird women after me.
His voice made it seem like he didn't know how to react.
I mean, I ain't paid to care.
You always gave up whenever I became stubborn. I let out a dry chuckle. And he let out a long sigh.
All right. I pushed a friend, and I hurt him.
His voice was very gentle and velvety.
He could have even died if the ankle had been worse.
It was as cool as river water, and it seemed to pleasantly flow between the fingers.
Yeah, that's exactly how I sound. I hate having people get mad at me or scold me or be disappointed in me. So I'd always run away when I had to apologize. Rather than feeling like shit when no one forgives me. Prefer to just act like we never had a relationship to begin with.
Despair akin to self-derision.
But, this time I really did want to apologize, no matter what. I didn't care how he scolded or verbally abused me. I just wanted to accept it all in a tone.
The pauses between his words gradually grew longer.
But he didn't even let me apologize. He didn't remember me.
What kind of face was he making right now? Why couldn't I push this canopy aside and pat him on his back?
I wanted to apologize for nearly causing his death, and then convey my feelings.
Feelings? His sentiment was like a faint light.
Consideration, proper devotion to someone.
You know, it is okay to be gay nowadays.
I don't even know what gender they are, all right?
Okay, well, we might not have gotten there yet in 2012, but we will.
Listen, if it was gay, at least I could put a label on it. I don't even know, man. I just got here.
It was as smooth as silk and could melt even under body heat. The room had no windows. Could his wish reach the heavens like this?
Also, just to be clear, I don't think that's what he's actually getting at there. I think he just, genuinely respects Minato as a friend and is now crestfallen that someone he was opening up to and beginning to trust doesn't remember him and he can't fully apologize for what he's done. But
Somebody's yaoi goggles aren't calibrated.
they're 21 and 17, okay? Give it like a few years first.
Imagining that level of toxicity would stop the yaoi goggles from taking effect. That mere small level of toxicity.
Jesus Christ.
This meager love could fall and sink into infertile wastes. It'd be nice if some wings would carry it through the sky.
You satisfied?
After catching his breath, he made a hard voice.
No matter how hard I squeeze out my words.
His throat quivered and became filled with the sound of fear.
My neck is so cold that I just can't do it.
Morichika Haruki checked out of the hotel early in the morning and looked for the next place to stay.
What a strange woman.
She'd stuck to him like glue last night, but come morning, she'd disappeared like she was never there.
Really rocked that trench coat, though. Well, she'll also forget about me in time.
Time was callous. No matter how hard you wanted stagnation, morning would come again and again. In his current state, the light of the sun felt outright painful. Even if he was with someone else, he just felt pity for himself for not getting any reciprocation. Suddenly, he heard the familiar sound of a bell and looked up.
Huh? Oh yeah, there's mass today.
All those other days, objects don't have mass. It's rather inconvenient.
Ah! Heard the sound of a bell and looked up. I've been playing Never 7, so when I heard the sound of a bell, I had different feelings for a moment.
His white breath danced in the dry sky. He'd been to Mass many times with his whole family. Back then, the plate was round and large, and yet...
What's broken can't be unbroken. Unless you have Gorilla Glue. Call now.
I've heard that magic can unbreak a vase.
The problem is the vase remembers it was broken, so it's going to be really precarious until it suddenly gets broken again. That's the thing about magic repairing shit. You can't rely on it. Once it's broken, it's all over. I kind of like get how that. Oh, hi there, Morishika. God damn. I kind of get where that mindset comes from, but it's like because you can't ever rebuild something exactly how it was when something that big happens to it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I do get what that means, but I don't think the takeaway is you can never rebuild it, therefore there's no point in even trying. I think the takeaway is therefore you can now build something different.
Yep.
It's not going to be the same it was, right? But that doesn't mean that there isn't something there that you can't grasp onto.
It also kind of hides the assumption that the thing needed to be not broken. And
That is also true.
sometimes that's not true. Some things just need to end, and it's sad that they end, but they needed to. And
Exactly.
you gotta move on rather than trying to get back the thing that you had and wasn't actually
Yeah.
good.
And while it definitely seems like Haruki does miss having his family together, one could argue that maybe he did need something to come between him and his brother, if only for his own fucking safety.
Yep.
A divorce? Oh, wait, hold on. This is young Haruki. A divorce? What?
It's exactly what it sounds like, Haruki. I've already talked to the lawyer. For someone your age, the parental rights go to...
Wait, Mom. Aren't you coming back home?
Back home, all I'm thinking of is how to get you two back.
Mom, you're misunderstanding something. If you actually met instead of talking by phone...
It was a matter of time. We would have divorced sooner or later. And it just happened to be now. It's not your fault.
No.
It's a problem that I lived separately. Your father has the upper hand. Getting Toma might be difficult.
Stop. I don't want to hear it.
Sorry for telling you this all at once, but just remember that I want to live with you.
I want the four of us to be together.
And so did I. The sound of the ended call seemed louder than normal.
Yeah, and it sounded like this also did need to break. It sounded like... I don't remember the exact specifics of what happened, but I think it was Haruki's father was cheating. Was that right?
I don't recall.
Just judging from the vibes based on the... Because I remember there's something like that in there. But, yeah, I mean, that sounds like that needed... Something had to change there.
Yep.
But again, the part of me that tries to take every single nihilistic thing I find and try to find the positive version of it, right? Because that's now a chance to create two different beautiful relationships. One with you, one with your mother and brother maybe, and then maybe one with your father that's different if you still want that. But anyway. You don't need me to tell you that. I'm a washed-up 30-something reading visual novels on YouTube. If I'm where you're getting your life advice, I hope I gave you good life advice.
Yeah, if we've somehow helped you get through a divorce feeling somewhat okay about yourself and like an intact person, A, fantastic. B, what the fuck? Why us?
Yeah, I ain't gonna question, the results speak for themselves, but... I would have questioned the decision going into it. I'm not going to lie to you about that.
Where did he go wrong? He could have counted on his bro, and yet...
I sure stand out. Man.
The man in the mod's coat didn't seem to belong in the church.
What, you telling me fuck boys can't go to church? Is that it?
Feeling like that was obvious, he ignored the looks thrown his way and sat down on a random bench.
I always feel weird about, because, isn't the whole point of going to a place of worship like this that it's open to anyone? Isn't that good if other people are expressing interest in worshiping there? Isn't that good for you? I don't understand people.
This is rare. You're early.
Huh? You ever heard the story of Cain and Abel?
No, what is it about?
It's about two brothers who bear the original sin. I know not. Am I my brother's keeper? Those are the words said by an older brother who had a grudge against the younger one and killed him. That's, supposed to be the first lie mankind ever told.
So basically, the story is, what if there were two brothers and one killed the other with a rock? Would that be fucked up or what?
Thank you for coming to Bible study here at 8PR. Wouldn't that be fucked up?
Why are you telling me this now?
Who knows? Anyway, shut up. You gotta read the hymns. Haruki.
Mom called in. It's a divorce, bro.
I'm sorry. You're annoying me. Talk properly.
Oh, sorry. We need to stop them.
The lungs he'd cursed so many times were more of a hindrance than ever.
We got...
This was the worst time to be having such a bad fit. He reached for the inhaler placed on the side table, but his brother's hand took it away. He thought he would help. He thought he would show care and bring it to his mouth. So why was he just looking down at him, inhaler in hand?
Bro.
It's your fault, Haruki. Oh, that's so fucked up. Oh, man. Listen, if you are someone who, as a tactic to argue with someone, takes away either their medicine or some kind of equipment they need and denies it to them in order to make a point to them, you are the scum of the earth. I don't expect a whole lot of pushback on that, actually. I expect that'll be pretty well received around these parts, but no.
Hot PSA from Two Queers Play. Don't attempt to kill your little brother. It's not a good idea.
Yeah, right? It's just like, ugh. Fucking hell. It's your fault, Haruki. It's your fault for not conveying it properly. What? You are the one who destroyed our family.
Haruki looked at his brother. He wanted to tell Toma that he couldn't even breathe right without the inhaler.
A lot of gravelly voices this episode. You're such a poor boy.
The silent voice that betrayed no emotion was like a late-night blizzard. The passing snow stuck to his face as the heavy, painful cold was suffocating him.
Mom and Dad both wanted to return to being a nice family. But because you are so inattentive, you go and break social circles without even trying. There's no way anyone can be with you when you're like this.
He begged his brother.
Please.
Listen, Haruki. For the sake of society, remember this at least.
He begged him to give back the inhaler.
You will spend your whole life unable to love anyone.
This probably wasn't that uncommon. A cold family that fell apart not because of extreme evils like abuse, but because of things simply not turning out right.
And no one helped. I never needed a family in the first place. I don't like anyone. If everything could just fall apart, then I don't mind being alone.
Something that had been decided at birth somehow accompanied people their whole lives.
There's one to frame. Go ahead and put that in the slideshow. I could easily run away if I felt like it, but taking that one final step is just so terrifying.
If only there was proof that there was a verdant green field below the floor of ice.
I'm still unable to discard the dreamlike notion that could all be fixed one day.
Are you really okay with this?
Do I have to end this by my own hand?
Did he have no choice but to stop clinging to the warmth of old and crush it all into tiny pieces? Haruki?
Huh?
An unfamiliar voice called out to him, making his shoulders tremble. So you did come to Souichirou's funeral, didn't you? The ones talking to him were Natsume Souichirou's parents. Thank you for getting along with him.
I mean, it was nothing.
Natsume Souichirou's family was like one out of a picture book. A youthful woman, an educated and dignified man, and an honest and smart son. A refined family of wealthy people, the kind of people Morichika Haruki struggled to deal with. We will hold a memorial mass for him, so we came here to discuss it.
Oh, I see.
Talking to these people made him feel like someone really seedy. They were kind enough to not show any sadness. It was an adult thing to do. This felt like a scene out of a drama. Within the light, a husband and wife who'd lost their son showed acceptance to a tramp of a man.
Well, I mean, okay, I also don't feel like people who make the decisions Haruki do need anyone else's approval or justification for it, but I guess it's more that Haruki here is being shown kindness that he can't really show himself, right?
However, the two looked at Morichika Haruki as a friend of their son and a young man.
Huh.
Their gazes made him feel ticklish, almost uncomfortable.
What?
He spoke up, stopping the adults. It was very unlike him.
What was Natsume like to you?
The sudden question made them widen their eyes at first, but they immediately looked at each other and smiled. Souichirou was a child like the air.
Like the air?
I suppose it's unusual to say this about your own son, but he was a strange boy. He acted like he was perfect ever since he was born. I don't remember him ever causing us any trouble.
Huh.
We wondered if a boy like this could make any friends at all. It was less of a worry and more of a curiosity, though. I wondered if he was enjoying his life. But it looks like he really did make some friends. Thank you for being one of them. Friends? Had he actually done enough for him as a friend? Had he given enough to the late Natsume?
Darling, take me home. I don't want to be what they say they found.
Good CG.
The light of the winter morning had a color so pure and strong he wanted to look away. His face, bathed in the morning light, was pale, and his closed eyelids received a beautiful orange tint. The coldness of the wood he sat on was like a close ally to him. He thought about Natsume's family. A mother and a father, both of them deeply hurt. Before they were parents, they were a pair of lovers, and a pair of people. They may have seemed mature, but deep in their hearts, there was a younger part of them, a small and soft patch of skin, which was hiding their pain and allowed them to act strong.
Was my family like that too?
His mother, father, and his brother Morichika Toma, born before him, they were forever his seniors. They were also far stronger than him in his frail body, and so he thought they could handle some pain. But that probably wasn't the case at all. Things weren't that convenient. Being alone allowed a person to be at peace, no matter how close you were to someone or how many people you betted. The bullet hole in your heart would never be closed.
The phone.
Natsume's phone had to be returned to those people. He strongly wanted to do something for them, no matter how small, but for that, he had to interact with Tojo Minato, even if reconciling with him was impossible. Wondering who it was, he checked his phone and widened his eyes.
Yeah? Yeah, alright. I'll come right away.
His father had collapsed. That was what the doctor on the other end revealed. Haruki was surprised that his father had included his number among his emergency contacts. For a while, he stood in front of the church, lost in thought. And eventually, he decided to go.
Dad!
Before he could say anything, a voice behind him finished his call.
Oh,
Their eyes met, and the awkwardness made him turn away, but Morishika Toma seemed not to pay any attention to his little brother.
Are you his family?
Even the doctor would look at and talk to Morishika Toma rather than him. His discomfort was almost crushing, yet Morishika Haruki also did his best to nod. The two were in the waiting room. Morishika Toma didn't sit down for a second. Seemingly not wanting to be close to him, he repeatedly walked away to call someone. A few hours later, he suddenly called out to him.
does Mom know? Huh? Did you contact Mom about this? Yeah, more or less. What the hell do you mean, more or less?
Toma knew their mother's number, so he could have called her himself. Haruki was about to say that, but he just cracked his neck and stayed silent. That was because Morishika Haruki himself was about to understand the fear of calling an estranged family member. Unable to bear the silence, a short sigh escaped his lips.
I'll look after Dad. You can leave if you want. If I want? You're just gonna tell me to leave. You just want to tell me to leave, don't you? I mean, it's not like you're interested in this.
His brother was implying that to Haruki, even his father's death must have felt like a pain in the ass. And that wasn't too far off the mark. He hated his family and certainly didn't want to see a person die. The person who happens to occupy the role of his father simply happens to be fading.
That's true.
He stood up and, facing away from his brother, left the hospital.
You ingrate.
Come in.
Hey, Dad. It's been a while.
The next day, Morishika Haruki went to see his father. He picked a time when he wouldn't run into Morishika Toma. His father, simply lying there, looked more gaunt and unreliable than he'd imagined. Had he ever stared at his father's face with such fixedness? How long had it been since they talked one-on-one?
How are you?
Oh, I felt really bad yesterday, but I'm far better now.
I see. That's good to hear.
An almost unbearable silence filled the room. Won't you sit down?
Oh, right. I just felt that I should at least see your face.
I see. He might have been at his limit. Perhaps it was time to break the icy floor below. This old man likely had no interest in him either, so he wouldn't even be shocked. This seemed like the time to finally break off relations with his family. Haruki.
What is it?
His father spoke up at a time that made Haruki feel as though he was reading his mind. It made his eyes tremble. He took a deep breath, fearing what those lips would eventually utter. What could this aged mouth say to him? An annoying sermon? Something about inheritance? Maybe his mother's whereabouts. He gathered his resolve and slowly closed his eyes. None of it is your fault. A sharp air gently grazed Morishika Haruki's skin. He opened his eyes in surprise and saw his father wearing a smile. I've always wanted to say that to you. Particles of light danced in the white room. The hand of the clock on the wall was moving forward in an orderly fashion. I imagine you may have been fretting about the fact that we had a divorce. But why now? After all this time?
But Dad,
The voice he let out was laughably pitiful, but his father didn't seem to mind. It's because oh, sorry.
It's because I said something weird to Mom.
No, Haruki, it's not your fault. Time couldn't be turned back. Light would gradually flow in one direction. But the pain of that time, and the apology, was finally heard as the room was brought back to the past.
I'm sorry, Dad. I'm so sorry.
He spoke as though he was 16 again and collapsed, crying. His father looked on as his son grasped and wrinkled the sheets, crying warm tears over them. It's okay, Haruki. It's no one's fault.
Saudade. I like the track that just popped up. I think this is the first time we've heard this one. I liked this one a lot. Hold on, I am gonna look up what Saudade means.
I feel like I know this word, but I've forgotten.
A feeling of longing, melancholy, or nostalgia that is supposedly characteristic of the Portuguese or Brazilian temperament.
I see.
There you go.
Why do I... Is there a... Oh, there's a song. There's a song, Chega de Saudade.
Oh, by
That-
whomst?
Antonio Carlos Jobim. I don't know how to pronounce Portuguese names correctly, so I apologize if I've definitely pronounced that wrong.
And that's where you heard it before?
Yeah,
Neat.
it's a classic.
Well, alright, that's an easy fix.
Wait, what? Really? God, why didn't I think of Gorilla Glue sooner? Thanks, Gorilla Glue.
Here, just give that to me.
He was taken deeper into a shop covered in silver accessories.
Looks like the gas adjuster screw's just a bit off. Just open it with a screwdriver, turn it to the minus, and plus a bit, and there.
When the wheel was turned, a flame of a familiar color lit up.
It's on.
It could be easily repaired if you just work with it a little. Hey, Morichica!
Before the conversation was even over, he
I'm
rushed
happy
out of
for
the
you,
shop,
but
unable
you have
to sit
to
still.
pay.
See, Tojo? I told you it ain't broken.
Wait, what was he fixing here?
His lighter.
His lighter. Right.
Waiting at the school gates made him really tense.
Yo.
Oh, hello. He bowed lightly with a perplexed expression and prepared to walk by Morichika Haruki when...
You remember Natsume, right?
Huh?
And the phone you got from him?
I never got any phone from Natsume, and he's no longer...
Side pocket of your backpack.
This isn't mine. What is this phone?
It's something that he left you before passing on. It's what they call a MacGuffin. You ever heard of that?
Why? Natsume and I were just classmates.
Let's go give it back. It's family. We did talk about that.
Well, I do think I should give it back, but please tell me why I even have it.
Oh, man. I know you think I should, but I really don't think.
Who are you anyway?
Didn't Haruki show up to apologize and Minato was like, "Thank you, but I don't recognize you"?
Yeah.
Okay.
This was a meaningless act he never would have done before. He would have never tried to start over with someone he'd already cut ties with.
I'm Natsume's friend. And I'm your friend as well. My name is Morichika Haruki. I'm 22, unemployed. My hobbies are pachinko, horse races, movies, and reading. Any questions?
Were we really friends?
Yes, we went to a club in Shibuya and a restaurant in Azabu.
No way. I'd never go to places like that.
We had meat fillets. It was pretty tasty.
And how can I know that you didn't force me to drink and eat with you, to make me pay for it or something?
I only forced you to come to pachinko with me that one time. I don't even know if that actually happened anymore in this timeline.
After a bit of silence, he slowly exhaled some cigarette smoke.
If this was our first meeting, your rudeness right now would have made me click my tongue and walk off. The fact that I'm still here is proof of the trust we had.
Logic expert Haruki.
Case closed. Let's get drunk.
You just confirmed the extent of a friendship only you feel. He sipped coffee like he still wasn't convinced and straightened himself before speaking. Is this really Natsume's phone? It doesn't turn on, so I can't be sure.
There's a ton of your photos inside.
I don't recall taking photos with Natsume. Did he take sneak shots? Was he my fan or something?
That's, not entirely off the mark, actually.
Seriously? He never acted that way.
Again, I feel like there really should be something you figure out for yourself first. Are you shocked?
If he was my fan, he could have just said so.
The bitchy sparkle? So you're not that much against it?
Well, something must have happened between us in the memories I lost.
Oh, so you're gonna admit that you're an amnesiac.
Recently, I've been having lots of trouble due to confusing memories. They say it's because I hit my head somehow, which is probably correct.
You're so frank about it, it's kind of throwing me off.
Well, then let's frankly get this over with.
I'm not frank. That's the second time today. Come on.
Tojo Minato finished his coffee as Morichika Haruki looked up at him dumbfounded.
So I guess that explains why Minato doesn't recognize Haruki, because he's still having like trouble forming new memories correctly. And even though he had been introduced to Haruki that one time and recognized him as the guy who pushed me, but then came to apologize in the hospital room afterwards.
Wait, what? But he didn't recognize him as the guy who pushed him, right?
Right. So even though they had that encounter, he didn't recognize him here because he's still having trouble forming new memories.
But he also didn't recognize him then, right?
Right, but he at least would have been like, "Oh, you're that guy from that tried to apologize to me that one time."
Okay. I understand what you're saying now.
Yes, that's my point.
What? We're going to Natsume's place, right?
Did you? Okay, hold on.
It was a house of the classical variety that one would expect to belong to rich people. It hadn't changed at all since Haruki was here a long time ago. Oh my, Souichirou's friends, please do come in.
Hey, what up?
His mother was like a figure straight out of an old shoujo manga.
It really does make Natsume feel more like a self-insert kind of what's the Marty Stew figure, right? Like when you like his family, perfect. Mother, perfect. Dad, perfect. Everything just right out of a manga.
Everything perfect and yet curiously devoid of any detail of any kind.
Exactly. And it's that combination of qualities, right? Perfect, but not so detailed that you can't self-insert. Sorry for intruding like this. We came to return an item that Souichirou,
Would you like to take a look at his room?
Huh?
Huh?
That sounded like you for a moment.
It's right here. Watch your step.
No, you sounded like me for a moment. I'm sorry, you were right.
This is Souichirou's room. Wow, it's so white. That's so like him.
He was so white.
I feel like other people somewhere else in the world would have a very complicated reaction to that.
Wait, we kinda just followed you in, but is it really okay for us to be here? Of course, Souichirou would be overjoyed to have Haruki and a school friend over. Over here, this is his album. Oh, wow, he's such a pretty boy.
Man, that takes me back.
He was very attached to Haruki. Thank you so much for getting along with him.
And thank you for not feeling weird that I'm a good 5 years older than pretty much everyone else here. It's hardly a thing you should be thanking me for.
As Tojo Minato looked around, a framed photo eventually caught his eye. Is this?
Oh, why would he put that on the wall?
Oh, I don't know much about the details, but there was this cafe that Souichirou would often visit. The photo showed Natsume in high spirits accompanied by a maid in a long skirt.
I see.
Tojo,
I'm really glad to see that he was happy. Sorry about that, I got more excited than I should have. How unbecoming. He never brought any friends over, you see. Today makes me very happy. We actually came to give back something of his. Tojo Minato played along and presented her the phone. This is Natsume's phone. I had it, but I don't really know why.
Right. They probably don't know that Minato just recently had some head trauma.
Yeah.
And Minato hasn't offered that, so.
And even so, even when Tojo Minato did not have head trauma, Tojo Minato did not know why he had Natsume's phone.
Well, he knew why insofar as Natsume walked up and handed it to Mina.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
But yeah, I guess like
even memories included, it still was weird.
Yes.
But we came here today because we believe it should be returned to his family, to you. I see. Thank you for coming. It must have taken a lot of courage. Looking at them with eyes full of affection, Natsume's mother smiled. Were you aware that he was missing for 3 days after he died?
yeah, I was.
He had never once behaved improperly. I spent many nights worrying that he may have gotten involved in something bad. Still holding the phone, Tojo Minato began to tremble. Then, with his phone, Natsume, he... Please don't get it wrong, Tojo. His death was due to a sudden heart failure, a natural death with no sign of foul play.
A natural death for like a 17-year-old?
Some people have heart conditions.
Yeah.
It simply took a while to find him because he was deep in a forest, in a place barely any people visit. It's very like him, isn't it?
Deep in a forest. Died deep in a forest, huh? Huh. Just tuck that one away.
It wasn't suicide or some other awful incident, and it most certainly wasn't your fault. Would it make it easier for you two if I had this phone?
You are holding together remarkably well for someone whose perfect child just died not a month or so ago.
Oh, that's the Valium. Does wonders.
I understand. Do you also go to see Dave on the corner?
No, I'm rich. I have a doctor.
Right. Oh, right. You're rich. You could just pay people for that.
Housewife's best friend. If you don't mind, I would like you to keep it. I feel like this may have been Souichirou's final act of selfishness, perhaps. Okay, if it's all right with you. Thank you. And feel free to visit whenever you'd like. I will make sure to prepare some snacks.
All of the snacks Souichirou didn't eat. They're gonna go out of date soon.
Do you think you maybe shouldn't have gone there?
No, that's not it. I'm happy I got to talk to his mother, but while I feel I dropped one weight off my back, I was also given another. What do I do with this?
All right, I'm going to give you one suggestion, and I just want you to hear me out before you say anything, all right? Drop it at one of those cash for phone places. Buy the biggest bottle of bourbon you can find. I'll let you do step 3, all right?
To be honest, I would probably do something like that because I sometimes I don't know how to like properly have stuff like that just to honor people, and I feel like sometimes the best thing you can do with stuff like that is just to make a good memory out of it rather than carry it along with you. You know what I mean? I remember when my grandfather passed away a long time ago, for whatever complicated reason, I wound up just getting the cash that was in his wallet at the time. Which is just a ridiculous thing, right? I just want to point that out. I want to point out just how, like, whatever, grieving families, strange decisions, whatever. And I'm like, I can't just spend this on McDonald's, can I? So I wound up donating it. It was not a lot, but it was like, a couple $100, and I wound up donating it to one of the local LGBT organizations around here.
Nice.
One that had helped me out in the past, and I was like, it's a fond memory that I can carry with me, something that I'll remember later on rather than. Anyway, that's my philosophy.
Quite a philosophy.
I hope that helped.
I, for one, would simply freak out.
Yeah, there you go. The funny part is that I hoard Pokemon plushies in the other rooms. I don't know. I contain multitudes, all right?
He took out the familiar black object from his bag and held it like something precious. I don't remember this at all.
I see.
How about you? What will you do now?
I don't know, get laid, get paid, every day.
You were looking into Natsume's death, weren't you? His parents seem to have accepted what happened, so that's done, right?
Yeah, that's right. So what now?
Haruki realized he no longer had an excuse to meet Minato.
I can't say that I want to go back.
The words that escaped his mouth made Minato laugh.
You can actually say some pretty cute stuff, huh? I get it, though. I still have no
What?
idea how to process those feelings.
Wait, what did you say? What? So, you don't want to go back with me?
Huh? He held up his motorbike's key with the tip of his finger.
I don't really know what to do.
It might have seemed a bit forced.
So, could you help me with the thinking?
You sure got nicer.
Huh? I've always been this nice, you dumbass.
Sure. I feel like I gotta make time to have a proper talk with you.
The broken snow globe would never go back to how it used to be.
I am sorry for pushing you. And for what happened before that, I said some awful stuff.
But if you gathered the fragments, even if they made your fingers bleed, the effort poured into putting it back together was never wasted.
I didn't mean to do that to you. And I want to start over.
Sure. Okay. Just don't give me those droopy eyebrows.
What?
Sure, you almost killed me, but I can't remember it, so that cancels out.
Moving briskly along.
The hand gently touched his shoulder. Listen, Morichika.
I'm more Chica.
Words you say once can never be taken back. A palm so strong and warm it melted the snow. But words can also be used to fix things. Searching for something they had no name for,
Wait, then what did I buy all this Gorilla Glue for?
they headed off with no destination in mind.
No!
They sped down the national highway, heading toward nowhere in particular.
Does it feel like we've significantly diverged now from Minato route?
Yeah, this feels pretty different.
Like, there were a lot of similarities. Like, we had scenes we were skipping because they were the same.
But by now, it doesn't feel the same.
Yeah.
They reunited at the Pink House in the other one.
Right, and he's like, come here, I need to force femme you real fast.
Hey, fucko, put on the dress.
Hey, fucko, put on the dress.
Even the breaths he took felt refreshing.
Hold on tight, all right?
As they cut through the cold wind, the arms wrapped around him from behind felt warm.
Oh, that's cute. That's really cute CG, actually. How's your corn dog, Minato? What is this expression on Minato eating that corn dog? there's something there, and I...
Next we should, Hey, you okay with spending the night at a manga cafe?
Sure, I'll just read some manga and go to sleep.
Roger, sorry, but it doesn't look like there are any guest houses around here.
Are the CGs done by different artists?
I believe so, and that's generally, like, with how it works with some games, right?
Okay.
Like, that's not uncommon.
I was just confused because it feels like we've gotten so many really different portrayals of some of these characters.
It's not uncommon for video games to have CGs and sprite art done by two different artists.
Right, but I meant the CGs different from each other.
Oh, maybe. Maybe that is also true.
It's cold, right? Hey, put this on.
New outfits again?
New outfit?
We are getting a
Wow.
propensity of outfits for these men.
Don't act tough. I can tell you're more sensitive to the cold than I am.
Hey, I'm trying to be nice here. Also, how do your parents feel about the fact that a 22-year-old man just kind of kidnapped you and took you on a motorcycle trip across Japan?
I know. Thanks for worrying about me despite how you're built.
Well, as long as you're fine.
You're my polar opposite in ways I could never have imagined based on that first impression.
What are you on about?
As you probably know, I like festivals and big events and stuff. It's the kind of thing you can enjoy with other people, right?
Isn't that just fine? I like them too.
You probably do, but more than that, you want time for yourself, right? Meanwhile, I just want to always be with someone who gives me peace of mind.
So you want to go back to Tokyo? If you don't want to get on the bike, I can pay for your train ticket and,
Whoa. Why is that your conclusion? I know I probably phrased it all weird, but we can hang out even if we don't think the exact same way, right?
I don't want to keep you out of your comfort zone.
You're not. As long as you don't mind hanging out with me, I'm all good. Also, I'm actually looking forward to seeing that picture when it's completed. Though somewhat awkwardly, Haruki focused on the sketch he was working on. Using the wet brush covered in faint green paint, he gave depth to the mountains. He wiped the excess water with a tissue, then repeated the process.
Well, we ended up here, so let's ask the info booth and see if there's any place we can rest.
Why'd you bring us here?
I was here on a trip with my family once. These were all red that time of year. Everyone did their best to make sure we all had a good time, and we succeeded. It's a fond memory of mine, so, yeah.
Your family must be important to you.
I guess.
When the sun dipped below the horizon, Morishika's coughs intensified.
Sorry, I'll sleep a bit.
Musical note? What was that song?
What was that song?
Oh, I recognize that one. 433.
The sound was softly flowing into his drowsy ears.
Oh, is Minato singing Mina's song?
Maybe. It was a melody like the falling snow. Minato was tapping the bed in rhythm to the heartbeat. The night was cold. You could see the snow outside the window. The side profile Haruki looked upon was lit by a pale light. Taking thin breaths, then exhaling them, he felt like crying. Making sure Minato wouldn't notice that, he closed his eyes. The hand placed over his above the futon felt oddly hot to the touch. Its fleshy, healthy vigor filled him with both envy and happiness. The reason why he began this trip was in part because he wanted to atone, and also because he wanted Minato to regain his memories. However,
He also wanted to be someone who could help him in his time of need. He wanted to be his equal.
Don't run.
His words surprised even himself. Don't worry, I won't. Minato might have thought he was sleep-talking.
Had enough of breaking up and never meeting people again. Even if things change a bit, I want to continue and start over. I'm done pressing an irresponsible reset button.
He'd been in a state where the world could simply end, and he would feel nothing.
Boy, do I feel that.
But now he longed for a world with a path that continued ever on. By the way, why do you always wear high-necked clothes?
How did they end up back at Haruki's secret couch pad?
Huh?
I thought I was just misremembering things.
It's because someone strangled me.
Who?
I
won't tell, and I definitely won't laugh.
My bro. My brother strangled me.
His pale fist was trembling. Well, that's definitely something you should get mad about.
Says Tojo Minato, the getting mad knower.
I'm being real here, Morichika. It's not something you should forgive or ignore.
Again, that's really funny coming from Toma, who seems happiest when he's not forced to carry the weight of being angry at people his whole life, right?
In response to those words, Haruki tried to muster his emotions. But his fatigue won, and he dropped his shoulders.
I can't. There's no need to get mad at this. I don't care if I keep getting beat by him.
All right. Wrapping himself in his arms, Haruki heard a voice of resignation through the gaps between. Who's talking? Is this
Minato?
I don't know. It's like I'm the only one who's ever mad. Am I alone in being so desperate about this? Get serious, will you? Can't you get fired up, Haruki? That was the thing. The heat couldn't well up anymore. The only way of dealing with this that he knew of was retreating into his shell and letting the feelings vaporize. Vape away your feelings. That was...
I don't want cotton candy, Lung.
That's fine. The only way he knew. I'll get mad in your place. Fuck you, Haruki's brother. Grr, arg.
You have to imagine now an image of Toma. They're like, I'll get angry in her place. Being very not quite menacing enough.
Morichika. No, Mr. Morichika. Someone needs to get really mad at the injustice committed against you. But if you'll lament that you find that difficult... Tojo Minato took Morichika Haruki's hand. This was the first time he realized that the hand wearing the ring was shaking. I'll help you, Mr. Morichika. His eyes looked directly at him. One silent black, the other verdant green, a pair no one could have. So, how about you get what you deserve? Somewhere in this town, a child was crying in this very moment, just like on any other day. Forcing out a voice that would reach no one, the young one moaned in pain and suffering. The coldness of the moon hanging above could make one feel nauseated, but if it could happen one day... If someone could melt that sadness...
Why are there so many CGs of us holding hands? I want to treasure people. I've always wanted to love someone, but I couldn't do it. I was scared of everything breaking down again. I wanted a place where I belonged. A peaceful home.
The place where you belong can be in my arms, if you want.
You'd be the kind of home that they call a friend. I want a relationship with a name, the kind that doesn't become distant without notice.
Ah, I see. Your definition of friend must be far richer than mine. Being bound by some words would be painful for me, but to you it's something that supports your thinking, right?
I kind of got that sense from Minato afterwards. Like, being bound by words would be painful for me. Minato, how's your gender? What? I hardly know her. The form is just, instead of marking anything on the gender form, they've just drawn a picture of what looks like a shark in a top hat.
Minato has just whited out the section of the form that has the gender checkbox.
Yeah, exactly.
It wasn't on there.
I didn't have to answer if it wasn't on there, right? You don't like it?
I'm not sure. I don't really have a way with words.
Tell me if you don't get it. I might be a bit annoying. But I'll try again and again to find a metaphor that best conveys it.
Well, I do think that some of the stuff you say at times is kind of complicated, but it's okay.
Yeah.
We can start over from here. Your life, my life. Neither of them can ever end because of some wound from your past becoming fatal. You can heal your wounds yourself. They felt as though the northern wind caressing their necks had suddenly stopped. That night, the two talked about their upbringing and recent events. Tojo Minato revealed that he was sexually assaulted by Niigaki Mayuri, but that he didn't give up regardless. Morichika Haruki revealed that one thoughtless thing he'd said made his family fall apart, but that he was still forgiven by his father. He also added that he was hated by Morichika Toma. By the time the night turned dark and Tojo Minato went to sleep,
No reaction to that name, huh, Minato? All right.
Haruki felt like smelling fire and went outside, tobacco in hand. He closed his eyes and strained his ears to the sound of burning oil. Before he knew it, dawn had come and the sky was gradually waking up. Revealing everything about himself couldn't damage anything about him. Even if he showed trust in another and buried his loneliness, no one could touch and damage the part that made Morichika Haruki truly beautiful.
What was I afraid of?
Under a melting sky, the sun shining on the lighter burned softly. Though there was the atmosphere in the way of the faint red, the fire was still hot. Have you heard of the Treasure Island? It's a small island to the north of Great Britain. Despite the name, it had very few actual treasures to offer. It was an uninhabited island in a high latitude, causing snow to fall there the whole year round. It's a place where the sun rarely ever showed itself. A world shrouded in silver with snow as far as the eye can see.
What is the farthest north island? Is it Queen Ellesmere Island?
I don't know.
I feel like it's something in Canada.
There is a lone house standing there, though. Its windows are lit up, but if you go in to investigate, you'll find the house completely empty. However, you'd find some fresh warm bread and soup inside, like it was made just for you.
I feel like I read this earlier.
Within sleep, Haruki was the snow. To be more precise, he had collapsed on the ground and was buried by so much snow you couldn't see his back.
I'm under the snow now and I've lost my sense of direction and I don't know which way is up.
It was dark and cold there, with no one else around.
That's something that can actually happen to you if you get caught in an avalanche, by the way. Be wary.
The blue spreading before him was terrifying, making him silently shut his eyes. It's fine, Morichika. Suddenly, someone took some snow off with his bare hands. Again and again. Even as his aching fingers lost warmth and turned redder and redder with every scoop. He continued to take off the heavy snow piled up on Morichika Haruki. Haruki wondered why he would suffer the cold to do this. Hey. A soothing spring breeze passed through his locks. This is what I call friendship. The scent of melting water tickled his nose.
Aw. Well, that's kind of sweet.
Yeah.
And we'll have to see how this inevitably gets fucked up next time.
Next time.
Don't worry. It'll just stay like positive and good and frick. And nothing bad. Fernwe.
Fernve.
Why can't I say?
Is that like a far journey or something in German?
Maybe. There we go. Finally, I can save this thing. What does it mean?
I did get fern meaning far correctly, but ve means pain or ache. So like a yearning or homesickness for a far off place.
Oh, that makes sense.
A feeling of wanderlust with an added ache or pain.
I can feel that. Yeah, for sure. Well, join us next time for more emotions with German words for them.
Smash that like, comment and subscribe.